on today's show, I'm going to tell you whether the latest attempt at the Last Airbender is any good or not. Last Bender, that's a different movie. Mike has a unique review for the show, not like the others, and you can take that to the bank. And Pat says we're in store for yet another Toyniversary. Welcome to your favorite live streaming whatnotting podcast, comics and collectibles in the crawl space. I, of course, am your fourth or fifth favorite podcasting host, Kevin. And as usual, I am not alone. First up, we have Michael.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, good morning. And then next, of course, Patrick.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. And then last but not least, Karen is back with some awesome background production. Hey, Patrick, that's weird. I had it on my brain. We were just talking about the Last Bender last night. So, you know, I got that confused with the Last Airbender, but Last Bender. Remember that Last Bender? That was great.
I wasn't there, but I'll take your word for it.
Okay, awesome. What's up, fellas? Got a lot to do today, as usual. And I just want to start out by saying we did a pre-production for the next Cover Combat 8 Xcellar Family Edition. And, man, it is awesome, right? Right.
Yep. It's my favorite one so far.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm running into the same problem as last round where I'm trying to remember some of the matchups already and I have to wait till Monday to look at them again, you know. So
right. Yeah, it is. It's excitement stacked upon excitement for us. I'm gonna say for Mike too, a different excitement though, but yeah, the layers of when we do it Saturday, we get it Monday, then we vote, then we get, it's just great. So anyway,
I was ready to go like Thursday at 2 a.m. I was like, man, I'm ready to record that show now so I can show them these matchups.
I'll bet. So, all right, but a lot to cover today. We're going to start with me. We got to keep things rolling today because Patrick's got a busy day he's got to get to. So let's get to it. All right, first up, this isn't exactly geek culture, but it's kind of geek culture. I watched Oppenheimer, which dropped on Peacock just this past week. You can stream that there free, and I kind of wrapped it up in what Kevin watched with geek culture because I can't even think Oppenheimer without thinking about Barbie. Right, Pat?
yeah, the whole Barbenheimer phenomenon.
Oh, Barbenheimer, which
Nice.
Yeah. So let's start with Barbenheimer. My first question is, has anybody besides me seen this yet?
No.
Okay. So let me just tell you this, and I'm going to keep
I also haven't seen Barbie.
Okay, I haven't either. Barbie is streaming too. I guess I should watch that and review it. I think it's streaming free on Max. I'm not sure. think it's free somewhere. I'm probably gonna have to watch it. I say it to everybody I talk to about movies and shows now, especially when I say I'm gonna watch or stream something that is dumb in their opinion. They're like, "Why would you do that?" And I keep, having to cite, "Hey, I'm a professional, man. I'm in the big leagues now. I gotta watch it all. It's not a choice anymore,
Well, if it's
So
not
anyway.
free, it's on my Voodoo.
Oh, if it's not free, it's on your Voodoo. Your family wanted you to buy it?
My family just bought it. They didn't consult me.
Oh.
My wife and daughter wanted to watch it. So.
Yeah, Lexi and Ayla actually went to see it in theater. So anyway, yeah, so I'm a little befuddled by this movie. I'm a big Christopher Nolan fan. Of course, I think the favorite Batman anything that's out there of Patrick's is Christopher Nolan, Dark Knight. Am I correct on that, Patrick?
No, you're a little bit off, but
So I'm a big Christopher Nolan fan, and I was really excited for this. I was just too poor to go see it in theaters, so I was happy when I got to see it for free. But you guys know this is over 3 hours, or I think it's exactly on the nose 3 hours long. Did you know that, first of all?
Knew it was a long movie, yeah.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. That's number one first thing that's shocking to me about the fact that this I think it made $1 billion, It's crazy to me that the 3 hour, again, non-geek culture, and I keep throwing that out there, but I think if you look at the top 50 IMDb made box office producing money-making movies, it's like all of them are arguably geek culture, I think, and so I think you really got to hit that nerve to get everyone out there. Obviously, there's a lot of non-geek culture movies that I like, but I feel like to get enough people into the seats that for it to make $1 billion, it has to go there. Okay. And this movie does not go there at all. So I literally think, like you said, Pat, the Barbenheimer effect really got this to $1 billion. I don't, since they were both released the same weekend, the hype was so big on both of them. I literally think people that were Barbie people that wouldn't have watched Oppenheimer if it wasn't for the whole Barbenheimer thing, wouldn't have watched Oppenheimer. That's just my small theory on how it made so much money. Your grandpa's chiming in. First of all, good morning, your grandpa. And he says he needs to watch this. You're right. You all need to watch it, because you may be thinking that from what I've already said that I didn't like this, but I like this. It's just such a mystery to me as to how it got so much hype. And well, actually, your grandpa just chimed in there too about the actors in it demand a watch, which, yeah, that's definitely part of it. It's one of those movies where you can confidently say, think of an actor, you like, they're in this movie. It's like got everybody, Matt Damon's in this, of course. What's the main guy's? I would just refer to him as Scarecrow there. Scarecrow's in it.
Murphy.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of people. Don't have me. We'll spend a half hour if I try to remember 2 or 3 of them, but there's a lot. Everybody you see in there, you're like, oh yeah, I know that. Oh yeah, they're the blank. So anyway, that, like your grandpa was saying, demands a watch. It's Christopher Nolan. Like I said, I'm a big Christopher Nolan fan. This was obviously hyped up. It looked really cool and compelling in the previews. Here's where the butts come in. So it's 3 hours long. I feel like it only needed to be 2. It's one of those type of feels for me. And then secondly, and it's kind of the same thing, the drawn out drama scenes are just, it didn't ruin it for me. Again, I like the movie, but it definitely did put a damper on it for probably the first hour or so. It's really exciting, and not actiony, of course, in any way, but everything that's going down, you're like really, wanting more, But then later in the movie, like I said, it just seems like it just draws out scenes and drama to try to build this intenseness, which, you know, it kind of put me in the mindset of Titanic too. It's like, you know what happens at the end of Titanic. We know what happens in this movie. So it's like, I don't know, it didn't make much sense to me to try to draw out this excitement for a conclusion. We knew where it's going to end up. And there's a few things in this that I didn't know, which were cool. But yeah, it's shocking to me this thing made so much money in the theater. And, you know, like I said, I'm going to contribute most of it to Barbenheimer, but then, you know, yeah, I mean, something to be said for all the actors and actresses that are in it. So anyway, I will give Oppenheimer a solid 7.5. It's not excellent in my opinion, but it's definitely good, and especially since it's streaming free, especially if you have Peacock, you know, check it out. I don't think you regret it. And on the other side of that coin, my wife loved it. I think she gave it an 8.5. You know, she really loved it from, I obviously assume, from beginning to end. So that is Sorry, Mike.
Sorry, I was gonna say, what did you give Godzilla?
I think I gave Godzilla 7.5 as well.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not a bad rating. It's just not super excellent to me. I got complaints, you know. So. All right, and then I'm a little excited for this. I watched the next episode of Halo Season 2 on Paramount Plus, and aside from just talking about this great episode, Mike, you said you finally got to catch some Halo, right?
Yeah. I try to pay attention to a lot of stuff, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna jump into Halo. So I click. I start watching it, and I'm like 30 minutes in. I'm like, this is pretty good, but it feels like I'm just kind of jumping in. There's a bunch that I feel like I should know. So I looked, and I was halfway through episode 1 of season 2.
Oh yeah,
it was really good. So I stopped it and I went back, and at that point, I only had time to watch half of an episode.
Oh.
So I watched the first half of episode 1 of season 1, and yeah, it's really great. I like it. It's cool.
That's funny. So you saw the first half of season 1, episode 1, and the first half of season 2, episode 1.
Yeah,
for a full episode. That's hilarious. So your grandpa's chiming in again. Him and his buddy were just talking about Halo. Just got 3 months of Paramount Plus for free, so this will run to the top of the watch list. That's awesome. Yeah, your grandpa. I've given high reviews to both season 1 and season 2 so far. So yeah, definitely check that out. Patrick, where are you? Did you catch any of these yet? Did you watch the first half of any episode?
I didn't even get around to picking up Paramount Plus or whatever it is, Paramount Plus. So,
Paramount Plus.
Yeah, no Halo on my horizon.
Okay. So anyway, so this was episode 4 of season 2 that just dropped this week. As I discussed before, without too many spoilers, season 2 focuses on the fall of Reach, which is a very cool part of the whole storyline of the Halo universe. And I actually changed the poster up a little bit this week rather than I had last week, because this poster is a little bit more indicative of where we are in episode 4, man. We get a lot of Covenant, even get the Jackals, we get a Wraith, we get a Scorpion tank. Man, they like Paramount Plus is so amazing to me. I've said it before. I think the first time I ever said it was with Discovery that, man, they are putting out like motion picture quality shows, in my opinion, as far as special effects are concerned. It's so awesome. So I highly recommend you get on board as soon as possible with Halo in general, but get to season 2 as soon as you can. They drop every Thursday, and I'm at the end of every episode. I'm looking forward to more next week. The only thing I will say also about this week, and it's maybe this is where my brain was because I was watching Oppenheimer, but this one does have a few scenes that I didn't think needed to be drawn out so much too. Like a buddy of Master Chief gets killed. No, again, spoiler, you don't know who it is though, but a buddy of Master Chief. Yeah. A buddy of Master Chief gets killed, and he spends like 8 minutes. I don't know. I'm exaggerating, but way too long, in my opinion, just standing there being shocked and saddened by it while the Covenant are attacking, assaulting Reach. So, I love Master Chief, and he can definitely, make you feel some feels, especially for some boys in combat and girls, but he would not stand there for a moment, kind of in shock on it. I think that would make him attack the Covenant more angrily, and I think that would have been a better way to go. And that's not the only time this happens in this episode. I think there's literally, I counted them. I talked to Lexi about it because she's my Halo viewing buddy. I think there's actually 4 different times in this episode. It's only an hour long, where there is moments of emotion, these emotional scenes where people are like, oh, and just like standing there in this daze while we're seeing what they're thinking or seeing what's happening around them in slow motion, and a little bit of drawn out. I still like the episode in general, but I think I started giving season 2 like an 8.5 bags of popcorn. I'm going to drop this one down to 7.5 bags of popcorn. Still good, but hey, Paramount Plus, Halo is action packed, especially if you got Covenant attacking Reach. This should be an action fest. This is not moments to try to pull at the heartstrings, in my opinion. So write that down. Tell people. So.
Real quick, speaking of long and drawn out, last night we finished the Lord of the Rings trilogy with Return of the King, that movie that took 45 minutes to end.
That's the extended cut you must have watched then, right?
Yeah, extended cuts.
Yeah, because I remember that too when I first saw that extended cut. You probably remember that too, right, Pat?
Even the theatrical cut is a bunch of what you think is the ending and keeps going and keeps
That's
going.
true too, yeah. But when you watch the extended cut, man, it really gave a new definition to the word extended cut, or words extended cut. Yeah, it was, I mean, shave off 20 minutes of that, it would make it better to me, in my opinion. So anyway,
hopefully the next one doesn't have the next review here doesn't have the same problems.
All right, and speaking of that, my final watch for the week is the latest The Last Airbender attempt on, and this is live action on Netflix. If you were unaware, it just dropped. I think the date is actually on there, the 22nd. And, this is, people were torn about this and the kind of pre-reviews, I guess, for lack of a better way to describe it, people reacting to the trailer and knowing this was coming. It seemed like most of them were going the negative direction. Or either one of you have any kind of interest in this or been paying attention to the reviews and trailers and stuff?
No.
Mike?
No, I've never watched any Airbender stuff.
Same here.
Man, oh man, you guys, this is awesome stuff. You seriously, I can't put this on the list. You need to get into some Last Airbender. And
is this above or below Halo?
This is below Halo. Halo's still above this.
Okay.
That would probably be a real tough answer or real tough question for Tyler to answer. I think he probably loves Halo and Last Airbender equivalently. But anyway, you got to start with the animated. The animated, I think that was on Nickelodeon originally, and I think it was like 6 seasons too. Epic animated series. So many people love and adore it. Obviously, a huge following. And then one of my favorite directors of all time, M. Night Shyamalan, made a movie just called Airbender, also live action, that got panned by critics and fans alike. Did you guys remember that?
Yeah,
I remember it.
I'm a little bit of an outsider on there because I'm not an Airbender aficionado, and definitely not a gatekeeper of any type. The only reason I originally started watching Airbender is because of Tyler. and kind of the hype. It was really popular. Lots of people were talking about it, so I figured I'd check it out. And it's really good. It's really good stuff. But I didn't hate The Airbender by M. Night Shyamalan near as much as it seemed like most people did. So, take that for what it is. I can't remember a whole lot of details of that. I just remember afterwards everybody hating on it so much. And I was like, really? It wasn't that bad. Come on. But I like Batman and Robin. So what do I know? Anyway, always have to fit that in there. So anyway, because of Airbender, I think everybody was super uber cynical about The Last Airbender having another live action and a series and on Netflix, because Netflix has been letting people down with changes and stuff like that with beloved things. And not only, that, it seems like most major production companies, when they put out new live action that's a reboot from the old, they seem to just want to, twist it and have a stranglehold around the neck of the people that love these IPs. It's doesn't seem very genuine that they care about those people most of the time. Those people being the people that kind of made the whatever the subject is. In this case, The Last Airbender is super popular to where it is. We experienced that a bit with comics, of course. But anyway, I'm going to say this, and I have not watched any reviews since this actually dropped. So I don't know whether I'm an outlier, other people agreeing with me. They did a really good job on this. Right out the gate, as far as my memories are concerned, there's a little tweak at the beginning, but I don't think it's a bad tweak. I think from, again, my memory can't count on that, but I'm going to use it anyway. Back in the day, the animated, airbenders started in ice, kind of like Captain America, and he was found, and he didn't know he was the Avatar, which that's the name of the animated. It's Avatar: The Last Airbender. And essentially, similar stories to others. This character on the front here is Aang. Man, I hope I don't butcher any of this. But this Aang, and he is the last airbender. There are fire, earth, water, and air benders. And basically, they have the power to manipulate, whatever the type of thing is they bend. And say it again, Mike. Sorry.
The element.
Yeah, whatever. Exactly. Thank you, Mike. Whatever element they can control, they can manipulate that how they choose. And of course, Aang is the last airbender. But then to throw the big thing with this and so many others, there is the Avatar, which is a being that's all powerful, that can bend all the elements. And the Avatar is the one that kind of keeps the peace with all of the different tribes. Otherwise, it seems like the firebenders are the bad guys all the time. But I don't know. I'm sure there's some bad waterbenders and maybe airbenders and some earthbenders, whatever. But the firebenders got the short end of the stick when this story was written as the benders that were going to be the evil doers. Okay. So basically, the Avatar switches from all of the benders throughout time and history, and controls all of them because the Avatar can do everything. The Avatar hasn't been around for a long time. The firebenders know that the next Avatar is going to be an airbender. So the firebenders decide, screw this. We're going to go, and they wipe out all the airbenders. Of course, Aang ain't around when this happens, conveniently, of course. And the firebenders wipe out all the airbenders. There's no more airbenders except Aang, frozen in ice, just like Captain America, for 100 years. So the firebenders are sure that they destroyed the Avatar. So this whole, equality thing amongst all the benders, that's done with. The firebenders are like, no, we're not only going to rule all of the world, we're going to kill you if you try to bend anything. So essentially all the benders are at war with the firebenders. And again, the firebenders thought they wiped out all the airbenders because they knew the Avatar was going to be the next airbender. So anyway, of course, someone finds the two on the poster here. You can see in the middle. Can't remember their name. I apologize. They're two waterbenders. They come across Aang in the ice. He comes out, and now it's an adventure of, firebenders know the Avatar's around. Aang is the Avatar, but he's a kid that's been frozen on ice for 100 years, so he doesn't know anybody. He was just learning his airbending powers, let alone knowing that he can do everything. So that's kind of where we are in The Last Airbender. I only watched the first episode and part of the second episode, but from what I've seen so far, it's excellent. Great special effects, great acting, great action, and like I said, Avatar: The Last Airbender is a classic story, in my opinion, anyway. So I got nothing so far but positive things to say about The Last Airbender.
Well, yeah, I want to watch it. It sounds good.
Yeah, I definitely think this would be a big Mark and Valor. Does Valor watch the Airbender, Pat?
No, he never got into it.
I definitely think Mark and Valor would love this too. And I think even Ayla and Korra would love this. Just The Last Airbender in general is Avatar: The Last Airbender is awesome, the cartoon. But yeah, I think they'd really enjoy this. And I can't think of anything on this. I don't know exactly what this is rated, but I think it's totally family friendly, but it's a lot of fun. So check it out.
Yeah. Are there any football players in it that I can lure Mark into?
I'll think about that and I'll figure that out for next week, and I'll let you know. That's what I'll lead with.
I'm just gonna tell him there's a football bender in it, and he's gotta watch it to find it.
That's funny. That's funny. I'm definitely gonna watch. I'm hopefully gonna watch the whole entire season this week to be able to give you one final review on it next week. Speaking of that, I meant to ask y'all. I think we've talked about this before, but I'm just looking for a latest episode or update on your thoughts. Do you think it's better for them just to drop a season? Because I'm watching two things right now. So the whole Airbender season just dropped, so I can binge it all, and I'm watching Halo drop week to week. And I'm thinking I like the Halo, way of doing it week to week. Where were you guys on that? Do you remember, or what do you think right now, as of now, regardless of what you thought before?
Go ahead, Pat.
Mike. No, Pat.
I'm definitely in the one at a time camp. Parts it out.
And it's less pressure, too. I don't know why I feel pressure if a whole season drops. I'm like, I got to get this watched.
Well, you have the potential of spoilers being out there, too, if the whole season drops.
That's true. Karen's asking how many bags of popcorn. Yeah, just sorry about that, Karen. I'm giving this a solid 8.5 bags of popcorn so far. It's excellent. So, Mike, what's your thoughts on the season or episode drop?
Yeah, I think weekly per episode, kind of the way Halo's doing it. And I don't know why platforms like Netflix stick to the all at once, because they release them and it's this big push. It's like number one, it's all exciting, and then people binge it, and then it just falls off everybody's radar. But if it's on every week, then every week it's on people's radar for a longer time. So
this is one of the reasons we've been friends forever, Mike, because that's exactly what I was going to say, and that's exactly what brought this to my mind last night, is because I think Discovery season 4, which is the final season, is going to drop sometime next month in March. I apologize for not having that date while I'm bringing it up, but anyway, the final season of Discovery is coming out, and they're dropping the whole season. So I was like thinking, that's exactly what my thought was, Mike. I was like, why do they drop a season and then it goes away for a year or 2 years or however long it takes them to do another season, and they drop a season? Why don't they just start dropping episodes so they can work on, the next season while the season 1 episodes are dropping, and then when the finale of season 1 happens, you got maybe 2 months before season 2 drops, rather than dropping it and it's a year later before, yeah, exactly what you just said, Mike. I think that keeping people on the hook by having 1 episode at a time is a much smarter business plan,
Yeah.
But what do we know? I mean, Netflix they're billionaires, and we're still just trying to pay minor bills in our life. So what do we know? I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm always behind, so I end up binge watching it anyway.
That's true too. Yeah.
Yeah, things are out for 6, 7, 8 months before I get around to it, so I binge watch it.
Yeah, I think if you're going to go the one at a time, yeah, Karen's chiming in. She's a binge watcher. Yeah. April 4th for season 4 of Discovery. Thanks, Karen. Appreciate those fact checks. That's another reason we miss you in the background so much. Need those quick fact checks. Thanks, Karen. Which, again, I talked about Discovery. Talked about Discovery a couple times now. Man, they're doing an awesome job with that. That's a motion picture quality as far as I'm concerned, So anyway. But yeah, check out The Last Airbender on Netflix. Good stuff. I'll let you know if it finishes properly as well next week. Follow up on that. So that's all I watched this week. There you go. There you have it. Ooh. On a side note, too, I'm actually almost done with True Detective. Karen says she finished True Detective. Man, I think I could actually literally fit that into what Kevin watched, too, maybe next week, because it's kind of fantastical. It's not like the other True Detective where it's like just true crime detective-y stuff. This one's kind of fantastical as far as, supernatural stuff like that, Karen says she loved it. Okay, Karen. Good to know.
She gave it 2 thumbs up.
Nice. All right, Mike.
Yep.
Are you ready? I got a question about the pick 3 before we get into this real quick.
Okay.
Where are we on the picking of 10 covers that aren't the open order? Or have you started implementing that week? Or have you started implementing that this week?
I did it like 3 weeks ago.
I thought you just mentioned you were going to do it 2 weeks ago. I didn't know. I forgot to ask you last week whether you did it.
Yeah, I did it a few weeks ago, and I'll say it's like a 1 in 25.
Are you saying it was longer than 2 weeks ago?
Let's go shows because weeks are hard to come by.
2 shows ago.
Yeah, at the very least, this is the third pick 3 that I had the chance to that I would pick.
Okay, so the latest gamble on the show right now is you're saying it's been at least 3 shows ago. So this is the 3rd show since you made the statement. You know what? I'm just going to include, variants, right?
Yeah.
What's it? I got 2. Mike is saying 3. What say you, Pat?
It's probably 3 because don't forget about the lost pick 3.
Yeah, because we skipped that week and I still posted it.
That's not a show, though.
But this week would be the third pick 3. You're saying this week is the second pick 3?
No, I'm agreeing now that Pat reminded me of the pick 3 post that didn't have a show.
Right.
I said 2 shows ago.
Right.
You're saying, and you're agreeing with me now because you're including the pick 3 that didn't have a show as the third.
No,
pick
I'm
3?
not counting that. This is the
so
third.
You're saying it's 4 now?
No, I'm saying it's 3.
This is the 3rd show or the 3rd pick 3?
3rd show. I forgot all about the
4th pick 3 then. You're saying it's been 4.
Right. Oh yeah. If you count that week that we didn't have a show.
I cannot wait to bust out the Kevin's right and Mike was wrong video. That's going to be so fun. Stay tuned to that.
You
but let's get into this.
On the show.
But let's see what these pick 3s are this week anyway.
I can't wait.
All right, awesome. Sorry about the interlude argument, everyone.
Right. I'm having an issue. The intros are not playing this week for me.
Oh man, that sucks.
Or in the past. So all right. Well, these are all open order this week.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
All right.
So we'll start off. We have What If Venom #1 from Chad Hardin, which is the Amazing Spider-Man 316 homage. Then Thrawn Alliances #2 from Rod Reese. Conan the Barbarian #8, Ashley Zianicki. Yeah. Detective Comics 1082, Francisco Francavilla. Spider-Punk Arms Race #1, Takashi Okazaki. Green Arrow #9, Dustin Nguyen. White Widow #4, Rose Besh. Wolverine #44, Salvador LaRocca. Power Girl #6, Dan Panosian. And Ice Cream Man 38, Nate Sweetser.
All right, that Spider-Punk isn't a reprint or isn't a I mean, we've seen that Spider-Punk, right? That was a cover that was
every cover of Spider-Punk has him in the same pose where you see the bottom of his boot.
Oh, is that what it is? I'm just confusing them like that for real?
Yeah, I think it's like the same.
Holy cow! I thought that was the same. It was different, but the same because he's blowing the bubble and a portion of his mask is exposed, just like the other one and everything.
Maybe it is. I don't know. I just thought it's like, man, everything's the same.
It's got a different background and color scheme for sure.
But yeah, looking at it now, it isn't identical, I don't think. I think he actually had his hand in front of the guitar and the other one we're all thinking of. But his hand's like he just strummed it and it's, the guitar's flying below him and his hand's back. So, yeah, it's a little different. But yeah, that must be what it is, Mike. It's just so extremely similar. It's confusing. Yep. That's hilarious. Anyway.
Yeah, so this week felt, for me, it was like, it's kind of lackluster. But I think, it ended up turning out pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Karen's saying there was a skateboard one, too. Yeah, there was the one that had the skateboard in it. Right. Yeah, that one. And he was in the same position with blowing a bubble and everything. Yeah, that's the that's funny. That's hilarious. Okay. Sorry, Mike. Yeah, continue.
Yeah. When I picked this one, I was like, man, all these Spider-Punks have the same thing. We see the bottom of his boot, and it's got bubble gum. But it was still an awesome cover, so I had to put it up there.
I don't actually think I've ever busted open a Spider-Punk yet either and looked inside. Is the art like that inside as well?
I think the cover artist is the series artist as well on usually on the A covers for these.
Okay. Nobody's read any Spider-Punk? You haven't either, Pat?
No. Holy cow. That other Spider-Punk cover is so similar. It's crazy.
Okay, I'm glad I'm not crazy. That's okay.
His guitar in the cover that was in Cover Combat, his guitar is behind his back instead of in front. Man, I'll tell you what. This guy's got to change up his poses more.
Yeah. I'm just glad I'm not crazy. All right. Anyway, Mike, you were commenting about how this week felt a little lackluster. I'm gonna agree, but I'm gonna also push back and say there's definitely some excellent ones in here. This was an easy to get more than 3 out of for me, but I think the ones that weren't in there for me were definitely like, I didn't think this deserved to be in the 10. But obviously, I didn't look at the hundreds and hundreds of covers you did. But I know of a couple. One of my family members picked a couple that I was like, wow, really? So I think that's what counts, is as long as everything gets 1 vote. So you want to start there? Did every cover get at least 1 vote?
Yeah, every cover got 1 vote.
Boom. Can't ask for more.
I mean, every cover got more than 1 vote.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, they all got at least 1 vote. And it was varied. The top 3 dominated, but then the rest, the other 7, the other 6 were pretty were pretty close. There was 1 cover that really fell off and didn't get much attention.
Well, the proof's in the pudding. So good job, Mike. All right.
Yep.
Who we got?
I told Mike this was There was only one cover I thought was weak in this 10 covers this week. So I thought it was a above average week in my opinion.
Good. Yep.
Oh, after I want to guess. I want to guess what you're talking about after Mike's done showing the covers. Go ahead, Mike.
All right. So, I went down everybody already, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you said everybody.
Yeah, I went over it. Okay. All right. Let's see. Third place. Make sure I've got the right one. We were just talking about it. We've got Spider-Punk #1.
There you go.
Takashi Okazaki.
Yeah, if you didn't say it, this is Spider-Punk Arms Race #1. The other Spider-Punk, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. The studio audience does not like that one.
The studio audience all voted for the others.
What'd you say, Pat? Sorry, I kept talking over you.
I said the same exact thing you did.
Okay. Perfect. I mean, it's cool, but yeah, I don't want to ever see it again, Mr. Okazaki. Did I say that right, Mike?
Yeah.
Nice. Anyway. All right.
Yeah, and it's great. I was glad that it made the top 3 because I questioned on. It was one of the ones. I was like, I was on the fence. Should I use it? Should I not? And so I'm glad everybody liked it. Well, everybody except for the audience, the studio audience.
This was an easy pick for your grandpa. He has the Spider Boy homage of this as well. Loves it too. Yeah. Hey, Spider-Punk. Hey, Spider-Punk. Hey, your grandpa. Can you confirm or deny that the interiors look just like these covers, or not? As well. We'll stay tuned for that when you show us the next one, Mike. Hold up. Wow, that is extremely similar, Pat. You're right.
Hold on, let me see. Son of a gun. Yeah, it is.
Pat's holding up the Spider-Punk #1 cover.
Like I said, we just keep on getting his boot.
Change the position of the guitar, apparently.
But because it was funny because when it first popped up in Cover Combat, somebody said, "How's he blowing a bubble with the mask on?" And I was like, "Well, it's because everyone's screens must have been small, but you could see a portion of his face on the cover, and that's immediately what I saw on this one too. Is the same deal." But the pink, pink, the pink and the whole circles pattern around it. Yeah, I was like, that's different. But man, I could have swore it was like a second printing or something.
That's what I thought too. Yep. Your grandpa is confirming that the interiors are like this as well. Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, and let's get to #2. This was great. This one made me happy. We have Green Arrow #9 from Dustin Lin.
Should have been #1.
This is one that I highlighted previews for the cover.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
Yeah, it is very cool. I don't think that's made my top 3, but it was definitely in the running. It was definitely in the running for me. Would you say, Pat, this was #1 for you?
Yeah.
It's really cool. I mean, yeah, you got to love getting great art and original covers, right? I mean, it's...
Yeah, this one just stands out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, and #1.
All right, drum roll on this one?
Yeah, sure.
Oh,
Detective Comics 1082.
You gotta
there it is, Kevin. There's your week cover of the week.
Literally, I was gonna guess. Well, I was actually gonna say this one or Ice Cream Man, Pat.
Well, you could have been further off there because I voted for Ice Cream Man. That's a really good cover, in my opinion. Very nice design, very well executed. This cover, I'm a Francavilla fan, but man, the legs on Batman there, I hated this cover.
Yeah, I didn't like this one either at all, and obviously I didn't like the Ice Cream Man either. But yeah, I'm shocking that this made it to #1.
Yeah, I'm shocked as well.
I'm shocked as well. because this one, I was another one. I was on the fence on it. Like you, Pat, I'm a big Francavilla fan, and what I like about this one, the moon looks really great. I mean, I know it's a small portion, but I like how usually when they do that crescent, it's just real smooth. But here, he still has the
Like,
craters worked into the edge.
Yeah.
And it's just striking. If I imagine it on the shelf, that's going to draw people's eyes because of the color and starkness on that. So that's why I put it on there, because it kind of stood out. I agree that the Ice Cream Man was I think it's actually a better cover than this one. So
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's like your least favorite one, probably.
Yeah, this is definitely my least favorite one. You've said this before, Mike, and I've called you out, so you don't need to call me out right now. But I think I could draw that cover, the Detective Comics cover. I think I could draw that. I have a question for you about it too. So, are those squares in the grass/sand or whatever? Is that shadows, or are those kind of in cuts into whatever type of ground he's on? What did you guys think?
All the different shades of the brown here and in the front where his signature is. I think it's all sand, and it's kind of just a shadow.
Okay, here's what I thought. I was like, if that's sand, that's dumb. And then I thought, if it's shadow, it's poorly done. So I didn't like that at all. And I don't like the Batman done at all either. Yeah, his legs are stumpy. It looks like his knees should be where his feet are in that position almost, as far as the length from his butt to his feet or something,
No, he's leaning back on them. So his knees, if you follow from his chest at that same diagonal thing.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that's what they look. I don't know why it comes off as stumpy to me, but anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't look right to me either. They just would have, if he would have simply drawn it like his legs spread apart a little bit, I think it would help too. It just looks weird. It was so funny. I was so caught up in Spider-Punk. I wanted to mention it was funny when we showed the Conan cover in the previous preview. I thought, man, that looks like Rose Besh, and then it was ironic that Rose Besh is in this pick 3 here, and for me, they sort of cancel each other out, Yeah.
Well, Rose, that White Widow only got 1 vote. That was the.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
See, it would have got a vote from me, but it sort of I was having a tough time. Number 1 easily was the Green Arrow cover, but then I had a hard time picking the other 2.
Yeah. Yep. The probably my favorite one. I love the Wolverine one. I love that Sabretooth.
Yeah, me too.
That one and Power Girl were close. They were in 4th. They were tied for 4th. So they were almost in 3rd. But yeah, the Detective Comics, it beat out Green Arrow by 1 vote.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But hey, again, what do we know? The audience has spoken. Or wait, no, this is us. Our family has spoken. We know more than we do, apparently.
Yeah, the same.
Go ahead, Mike.
Go ahead,
Pat. I scratched my head. I was actually kind of surprised to see Ice Cream Man still going at 38 or whatever. I have no idea what that book's about, but that cover was really well done. It's creepy. It's drawn well, designed well. So yeah, I had to give it a nod, even though I don't know anything about the book, and I'm surprised it's still around.
Did you read a couple of those, Pat? Mike?
No, I bought a couple second printings. It's I wish I had been on board from the get-go. I think it's an anthology type of series. Kind of like the Creep Show stuff, or the Creepers or the Crypt Keepers kind of walks you through it all. I think the Ice Cream Man kind of does that through these.
That's kind of cool. Okay.
Yeah, but that cover was very Vertigo-like, 1990s Vertigo-like for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I didn't like it so much.
Yeah, well, you didn't read 1990s Vertigo either.
That's true. All right.
There you go.
Again, as already stated, the fact that you got multiple votes on every cover shows that you did a great job. That's what we think, Mike.
Yeah.
And I want to bring this up again, just randomly out of the blue, just because, you know, our viewers are moving up and stuff. We played a game back in the day called the Profits, where if during the show you predict the top 3 covers that win that week prior to them being revealed, and you don't even have to get them in the right order, you get your choice. The first person to do it correctly gets their choice of any of the top 3 cover, or no, did we say all 10? I think actually any of the top 10 covers that there are, and we'll ship it to you. So, but we stopped doing it because it kind of fell off. So anybody watching or listening now, if you're interested in the Profits, you let us know. We'll restart it up again because we enjoyed that, didn't we, Mike?
Yeah, we'll have to modify the prize.
Oh, because you do open order sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
Do a 1 per store $100 book, and that's the one that they say. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a Dustin Wynn. I mean, Scotty Young does it. His website exclusives, those aren't cheap.
Right. Yeah, okay. That would have to be the caveat. It'd have to be an open order book that they chose.
Yeah.
Even if they get the exclusive or the variant proper, you still have to pick one of the open orders as your prize. Gotcha.
Exactly.
So, yeah. All right, let's get into reviewing these things. I think we're rolling around right along. We're doing a good job. You ready, Mike?
Yeah, I'll get mine out of the way.
All right. All right.
Let's see
what you
works.
got. Something unique.
Something unique. Okay. What? I have to wait?
That's not unique.
You're jumping the gun.
All right.
Okay. Cobra Commander number 1 from Joshua Williamson and Andrea Milana. I read this, and then I looked at the back cover, and it warned me that the contents of this booklet is confidential. So the unauthorized, let me make this larger so I can read it. This unauthorized disclosure of information within is prohibited. So all I can say is get it. That's it. Get it.
That's hilarious, Mike.
And number 2, because it's out already too, I think. So that's what I got.
So it's just a get it?
Yeah, it's a get it if you want to know what's in it.
It's not even a must-have?
No, it's a get it.
Okay.
Because the artwork, I like the artwork a lot.
Yeah.
But it could be one of those that because it's very similar to the cover there. It's a pretty unique style. I really like it. Some people might be turned off a little bit by the art, but the story was good. Al Williamson's good, but it's get it.
I enjoyed the Duke number 1. So yeah, I wanted to check this out. So yeah, I'll just borrow yours if that's okay.
Yeah. Don't tell anybody.
Okay. All right, Pat, do you have a longer review than that? Or is this going to be the quickest get it and forget it ever?
Yeah, I missed it. Dag nabbit. See, that's so weird. One of my covers dropped out.
Ghost in the Machine, Gremlins. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Did you say this artist was for Cobra Commander on the cover, Mike? Again, sorry.
Oh, I think it's Andrea Milana. Andrea or Andrea Milana. I'm not familiar with the artist.
Okay.
But I like it.
It looks kind of like, Lemire, right? I mean, it reminds me of Black
A
Hammer.
little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. I think Jeff Lemire's a little rougher around the edges. But I can see where you can see you would see the comparisons. Yeah.
Mm.
And this whole universe, I wish, it's they've got the miniseries for like Duke and Cobra Commander, and then you've got the Void Rivals, and you've got the Transformers and the GI Joe. I can't afford to get all that.
I know, right? Everybody's got to make it so big. Everybody's got to be one-upping the last universe. I did. The Energon universe is exciting, though. This is one that I'd love to be able to afford, but I can't either. Yeah, there's just so much. Yeah.
Whatever you do, don't pick up an issue with GI Joe and look inside of it.
Why?
It's beautiful.
Oh.
I mean, it's stunning. The artwork.
I
don't recall doing it, but I picked up an issue and I was like, man, I really want to buy this, but I had to put it back.
I've already subbed to a GI Joe recently.
Yeah, you won't be disappointed from the artwork at the very least. But I think the writing is good too, from what I hear.
Yeah, it seems excellent, and I sure hope it crosses over with the Energon universe too.
Yeah, I think they're working up to that. I think they're because the Void Rivals stuff, which I am reading that one. I think it's on a hiatus. I think it's getting ready to come back, maybe. But yeah, I've seen some Transformers in there, so I know that part is going to cross over. And I think it's just a little bit of time. But probably letting the GI Joe stuff get established, and then they'll jump in and
yeah. All right, Pat, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, Austin, what do you got?
I got Young Hellboy, Assault on Castle Death, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, so the whole limited series, this came out a year ago. It ended a year ago, exactly. Sort of in my backlog. This is from Dark Horse Comics by Mike Mignola and Tom Snygoski are the writers, co-writers, and the art is by Craig Rousseau. This is a follow-up to the previous limited series called Young Hellboy in the Hidden Land. This is it right off the bat. This is 1947. These are all tales from the past. 1947. The BPRD has just moved from New Mexico to Connecticut, and Hellboy is feeling homesick, and he's also feeling sick. He's experiencing like fevers, and he's extremely hot, so they don't really know what's wrong with him. They don't know if he picked up some bug when he was in the Hidden Land from the previous series, or what's exactly going on there, or if he's maybe just just a little putting on a little bit of an act because he's so homesick for his former BPRD base. So in addition to that, we find out that the Brothers of Desolation, who were sort of the little cult group in the first series, they failed to. Their mission is to off Hellboy because he's the seed of destruction. He's going to end the world. So they're out to put an end to Hellboy while they can. They didn't do it in the first series, so they're back again, and we find out that they have sleeper agents throughout the U.S., and one of them happens to be near the new office in Connecticut. So they send this sleeper agent after young Hellboy to kill him. I'm just kind of summarizing the whole series in one go here, and I'll try to leaf through the covers because this is a fairly simple story. In fact, this does a thing that it's not really common for Hellboy books, where they sort of do a little bit of recapping from issue to issue, slight recapping. And I feel like without that recapping, they could have done this in maybe 3 issues or 2 issues. It's a little drawn out. There's not a lot of meat on the bones here, I feel like, because basically this comes down to Hellboy having these, they send him to bed. They say, you'll feel better in the morning. Keep an eye on you. And basically he's having these fever dreams. He wakes up, he's having these dreams, or he starts hallucinating things after he wakes up, and he believes there's an attack on BPR headquarters, and he sees Lobster Johnson, who's another character in the Hellboy universe. He was an old 1920s, 1930s pulp hero, who some people believe he was real, some people believe he's just all fiction. But young Hellboy loves reading about his adventures in like pulp comic books and pulp novels and things like that. He's like his hero. And as you can see there in the cover, he in this fever dream, because he thinks he's seeing or sees Lobster Johnson, he becomes the Scarlet Crab, who's his like sidekick, and they're gonna thwart these invaders in the BPR headquarters. So it's sort of the combination of Hellboy having these dreams, hallucinations, on top of the fact that there's actually somebody infiltrating the BPR headquarters that is out to kill him. And it kind of just works hand in hand with each other, where young Hellboy and the ghost of Lobster Johnson, you might say, and also a janitor that has sort of bonded with Hellboy early on when he came to this new headquarters. They sort of, they thwart the invader that's out to get him. And I should say too, for the ride is Hellboy's puppy Mac. He gets a cape too, and he's on the adventure as well.
Who knew Hellboy had a puppy? Did you know that already?
Me, yes, yeah. Mac is he's well entrenched in Hellboy lore. He was
okay.
And
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It kind of all wraps up that the infiltrators defeated. You see, and the big kind of gotcha twist or whatever, if you want to call it a twist. I kind of saw this coming. Hellboy sees Lobster Johnson. So in the palm of Lobster Johnson's hand, he has like this device that sort of brands his logo on the criminal's forehead. So you see Lobster Johnson doing that to this infiltrator of the headquarters, and he falls off the building, the top of the roof of the headquarters. And you kind of just know, and you come to find out that they go to investigate, and Hellboy's like coming out of his fever dream or whatever, and he's telling Professor Broom, Lobster Johnson helped me defeat the invaders, and Professor Broom's like, okay, Hellboy, sure. And then of course they go find the culprit on the ground, and he indeed does have the Lobster Johnson brand on the forehead. So was he there? Wasn't he there? It's all kind of typical of Lobster Johnson's mythos, you might say, because you're never quite sure, is he real? Is he just an imaginary character? So yeah, it's fine. Like I said, sort of a simple story, and if I was to wrap it up as a rating, I'd give it a mild get it, especially if you're a Hellboy fan. Unlike Giant Robot Hellboy, I don't think this is gonna really grab new readers, like the Giant Robot Hellboy book did. It's just sort of there, sort of enhances Hellboy in his younger years. So fans of Hellboy are gonna like it, but I'm not sure outsiders will dig it, as much as non-Hellboy fans would. So yeah, mild get it from me.
Okay. Awesome. Definitely looks cool. And I immediately just thought of the old, how many times have we heard / seen in movies and such of, the fantasy of time travel to go back and kill young Hitler prior to,
Right.
So.
I was actually kind of tracking. It was funny you mentioned about how, how the Titanic ends, how Oppenheimer ends. Well, young Hellboy is going to be okay. That sort of takes sort of the threat away from some of these stories, but it's kind of it's what you're generally looking for with these stories, and on all the stories being told now are stories in the past as far as Hellboy goes, because that storyline is all come and gone. Hellboy is gonna make it out of this because his ultimate ending.
Yeah.
But what you're looking for are really interesting fill in the gap things that
Details,
enhance
yeah.
the mythos. Yeah, like we've said about stories from the past before. So
Yeah.
and this sort of does it, but not 100% does it for me.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. All right. Up for me, I continued what I reviewed, if I can find it here, last week. I finished Why is it so hard for me to find this right now? Oh, because I added something unique. Speaking of Mike's unique review, I got something unique with my review this week as well. But I finished. I read Batman: One Dark Knight #3. This is the Black Label magazine sized comic, written and drawn by Jock.
Love that cover.
Yeah, this is a great cover. This is definitely my favorite of the three. And this doesn't actually do it justice in this picture too. In I don't know exactly what I'd call it, but it has like an effect where you can only see part of the lines in a reflective state. You know, I don't know what it is exactly to what I'd even call it, but like I said, this picture doesn't actually do it justice. This picture's awesome, but it's even better in person. So if you ever get a chance to see it,
it's got that like spot UV finish where certain areas are like glossy and some are flat.
That's it. Yeah. Thank you. That's exactly what it's doing. Exactly. So
yeah, those are cool.
Yeah.
You're muted, Mike.
Yeah, I talked and my computer told me I was muted. Yeah, that's exactly what it's called.
Okay. Well, thank you to both of you. So just to recap real quick from, and first of all, I thought this was 4 issues. I do this all the time with you guys correcting me, and then I do it sometimes where I correct myself. I'm like, I thought this was 4 issues and went looking for issue #4 and couldn't find it. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to read issue 3 then. And reading issue 3, then at the end I realized, oh, there's only 3 issues. So I'm going to actually have to correct that on the website. I have there's 4 issues on there. But anyway, to recap this real quick, this introduces a character named EMP. And this is a fairly simple story as far as the main plot is concerned. Batman has to transfer this villain, EMP, from Arkham Asylum to Blackwater Prison because they have to kind of make a separate special imprisonment for EMP because he can escape from Arkham easily, I guess. And as I mentioned before as well, this book keeps referencing something that happened 5 years ago with EMP without us knowing what that is that happened exactly. But this is actually a key book as well. As far, well, #1 is it's the first appearance of EMP. And like I said, he has to be transferred from Arkham to Blackwater Prison, and Batman is just kind of overseeing that transfer, and every gang in Gotham and the police are all involved in this because some of the gangs hate EMP because of this event that happened, killed a lot of their gang members. Some of the gangs want to free EMP because they want to use him as part of their gang to do villainy stuff. And of course, the cops are involved fighting all the bad guys and transferring EMP himself. So there's a lot of moving parts in this, which makes it super exciting. And like I mentioned before, the way Jock's art is, which I've fallen in love with a lot recently, it tells a story in itself the way his art is, and it's very exciting. Issue 1 basically just starting the transfer and what happens to get EMP out of the vehicle that he's being transferred in. And then Batman's actually taking it upon himself, since the vehicle is no more and the cops that were transferring him are no more. He's got to essentially carry EMP to Blackwater Prison on his back, literally. He actually knocked him out intentionally because EMP's power is extremely powerful. And then in issue 2, we get to see a lot of these fights take place between the miscellaneous gangs for miscellaneous reasons. And then, of course, as you can imagine, in issue 3, we start to wrap it up to where we get to where Batman has been kicking some butt for a while, and he's really close. He's almost there. And this is where the unique part of my review is, Mike. I actually got some interiors. How about that?
Nice. I was hoping.
So I love this one in particular. This just shows the state of Batman near the end of issue 3. His cowl has literally been ripped off his face a couple times too. So he keeps having to create like a makeshift cowl by wrapping pieces of fabric around his head and kind of tying it like like a bandana or whatever, and kind of make it look like a cow. But he's the worst for wear. I love this video. I love this comic partially because Batman is extremely beaten, and obviously seeing Batman kick people's butt is awesome, but seeing Batman getting his butt kicked and still fighting, it's kind of like the old Captain America, I can do this all day, even though he's getting his butt kicked, not giving in, still putting up the fight. I really love this storytelling of Batman in particular. And then I just added this interior too. This was on the last page of issue 3. This is what EMP looks like. He's kind of this homeless looking, disheveled, emaciated, pasty white guy that again, as you can imagine, his name being EMP, he's got this electrification running through him that he can basically make an EMP pulse go off and causes all kinds of mayhem, And then sorry, Mike, what were you gonna say?
No, I think he what caused that AT&T thing the other day.
Maybe, exactly. That's the kind of thing he does. So anyway, I've said this a bunch of times before too, that you gotta wrap things up really strong for me to get a super review on things. And man, this one does not fail. Not only with the story, but also, not only with the art, but also with the story itself. Like I said, it's a fairly simple story on the face of it, but man, there's a couple, 3 little twists at the end here that made it even more. I was loving it. That's when something's good, when you're loving it. And then at the end, it takes you up another level of loving it even more, So I'm actually, this is definitely a must-have for Batman fans. But I would say this is a must-have for comic fans in general too. I loved it so much. Definitely a get it for everyone. But like I said, a must-have at least for Batman fans. And I would be comfortable for giving this a must-have review for any comic fan. I love this so much. So, I've actually been purging my collection quite a bit, especially the offshoot titles and such. This is one I'm definitely not going to get rid of. This kind of falls into my love for Arkham Asylum, the original story of Arkham Asylum, the hardcover. I love this story so much. It's one I'm going to keep and think of fondly for many years to come. And like I said, besides for all of it, the end, it just wraps it up, and it's so cool in my opinion. So you guys should check it out too. Definitely must-haves for you too. Add that to the homework list. Put it right above Halo because it's going to be a quicker read for you. And you can borrow my copy if you don't want to buy it, because Black Label magazine size comics aren't cheap, that's for sure. But anyway,
I have issue 2 and 3. So if you have a second number 1, that'd be great. But if not, I'll find it.
We need to just swap for Cobra Commander, since you couldn't tell me what that's about for my number 1.
No, for keep. I know I can borrow it to read it, but
okay. No, I don't have an extra number 1. No.
Yeah.
All right. So that's what I read this week. The audience doesn't care. Okay, cool. Oh, that's a pretty good week, Pat. I actually accidentally, I think we talked about this just last show, that Mike and I, are kind of lazy about our collectibles. We're all like, we'll just wait till Pat shows us. Man, I got sucked into a video just a couple of days ago that I couldn't stop watching, so I got information. I really hope you show it today. I should have shot you, and I should have shot you the text. Hey, Pat, is this on your show? If it isn't, it should be. So. I'm hoping I see it here, though. You ready?
I am ready.
All right, let's do it. All right, no pressure.
All right. We're going to start out with some Hasbro news because this week there was a Marvel Legends fan stream and they started announcing some early things and some not so early things. First thing up, everyone's second favorite symbiote, Carnage.
Sorry.
I don't even know if he's my second favorite, to tell you the truth. But this is another one of the Spider-Man animated series retro carded figures.
That looks really cool.
This being Carnage. He is a Target exclusive. We're
What?
going to see that as we run through some things here. There's quite a few exclusives here. Carnage has been released before. This is a different, new, updated body. But yeah, he's Carnage.
That's awesome, though, right? You, even though you're not a Carnage fan, you like this, though, right? It's awesome, right? Come on, Mike.
That's too much.
What? That is so cool. I can only imagine how much I'd love this if I were a Carnage fan.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. That is so good. I don't know whether it's really how great the figure is or just how great this, visual you've got. All right, your grandpa, have a good one.
All right, see you later.
Yeah, we'll stick with some villains. This is Baron Zemo, Arnim Zola 2-pack. This is an Amazon exclusive. Like the original Baron Zemo, the father of current day Baron Zemo. He has a swap out head you can see there, and everyone's famous favorite face and a body, Arnim Zola.
Is that, I didn't know Baron Zemo looked like that under the hood. Did you know that, Mike?
No.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
You see that message, Kevin? Just a little side note about Instagram. Instagram's disconnected.
What?
It's that 1 hour thing. I didn't think that was a deal. Yeah.
That's weird. They're so inconsistent. I thought we went over before.
I thought we did too.
Yeah. So yeah, I think with the storyline there is the mask got glued to Baron Zemo's face, and that's when he ripped the mask off, that's kind of what you see underneath now because of the adhesive. If I remember correctly, it's been a long time since I read some Baron Zemo. Next up, we have a Shield 3-pack. Sharon Carter, Nick Fury Jr., and Dum Dum Dugan.
Those look cool.
Yeah, those do look cool. Dum Dum Dugan.
I like those.
Yeah, those look really good. Yeah.
And I this was not confirmed on the live stream, but a lot of people think there's going to be a swap out Nick Fury Sr. head for the Nick Fury figure. But we
the
don't
whole
know
Nick
that.
Fury thing, I'm confused. Because I know it's like they brought him over from the initial Ultimate Universe, right?
No, different character. But they wanted to align it with the MCU, make it more familiar. Yeah, it's a long lost son of Nick Fury Sr. that they just so happened to be a Shield agent too, I guess, and lost an eye. And it's funny how things work.
Right. Yeah.
Man, that's something we didn't even talk about with the Marvels with Nick Fury. Man, I think it's time for. I'm not sure Sam can pull off being a super bad butt agent anymore, man. He looked a little long in the tooth in that one. What'd you think of that? I mean, that's a total random off the wall topic, but you think here's a simple question, Pat. You think Sam might be time to wrap up being the action hero, or you think you still got it?
Yeah, that's they could easily transition that where he's like sort of not out in the field anymore. He's the master planner type guy,
Yeah,
the man in the chair type thing. But yeah, he's getting up there. I don't know what
Yeah.
Sam's actual age is, but he's pretty up there. I think.
Yeah.
Desk job.
Yeah, it just stood out. We didn't even mention it. Just stood out a little bit to me in the Marvels. That's all. His believability of movement wasn't there. So anyway, continue.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, it was good. It was good timing because I had to look for another picture. This is a new Fantastic Four 2-pack. They previously did Franklin and Valeria about a year ago. This is from a story. It's basically the new Fantastic Four, Ghost Rider, Hulk, Spider-Man, Wolverine. But they had these newly revamped uniforms that sort of fit in with the current day Fantastic Four uniforms at the time. They since have changed after this point. But it was kind of funny because the Hasbro team was kind of saying, yeah, we get to complete another team. We got Franklin, Valeria. Now we got Spider-Man and Wolverine. But there's two more members of that team. Franklin and Valeria were sort of like just on the side, but it was really, the Hulk and Ghost Rider filled out the quote unquote new Fantastic Four. And I think Nick Bradshaw may have designed these costumes. I think they're kind of cool. You can't really see it there, but Wolverine's got the current day X logo in the circle on his chest, and it follows suit with the rest of the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figure you either like it or you hate it. I like it because I'm a Fantastic Four fan.
Yeah, that's probably it. Because I'm a hater on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the colors. I think that blue and black go well together. I think it's cool.
Yeah,
I like everything except the colors.
but it's an easy thing for them to do. They've already got the Spider-Man figure. They've already got the Wolverine figure. Just give them a new paint scheme, put them out there.
Yep.
This is a Walmart exclusive. This is Prowler. I mean, he has a swappable head. You can have his human face or his Prowler hood. This is also in the retro carded, Spider-Man animated timeline era throwback card.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Also from that era are two more VHS releases. This is Daredevil and Hydro Man, which I do not like the cell shaded look on Daredevil. It doesn't look horrible in this shot, but I've seen some other ones. I don't care for that.
Yeah.
And the other 2-pack is Doctor Strange and Morbius. And Morbius famously from the animated series could not be called a vampire, I don't believe. He couldn't suck blood through his fangs. He had to use the suckers on his hands.
Right. Yeah, we talked about that before. Yeah.
And those are represented here. And I think finally to wrap up Hasbro, we have a Zabu wave, Build-A-Figure wave. You guys seeing that?
Yeah.
It was on a delay for me for some reason. This is sort of a mishmash of weird assortment of figures here. We'll run through them.
Trying to make
we have Black
sense.
Winter. Yeah, there is no sense to be made. They even admitted that. They said that in the live stream. Sort of really no theme to it. Just all comic based figures. This is Black Winter taking the form of Thor. I think this is from the Jason Aaron run.
Cool.
Yeah, he's pretty neat looking.
Yeah, that is cool. Yeah.
Was Black Winter Jason Aaron or Donnie Cates?
That could have been Donnie Cates, now that I think of it. We have Cable, who a lot of people were quick to point out looked very much, Marvel versus Capcom Cable-ish looking here. Let's see. We got everyone's probably not anyone's favorite Eternal Icarus.
Yeah, I don't like the Eternals. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't think there's many people who would count the Eternals to be their favorite Marvel characters.
Yeah.
Then
probably someone.
Yeah. I want you guys to tell me who this is.
That's what's his name from the Savage Land.
Xcellar,
yeah, Xcellar from the Savage Land. Yeah, Xcellar right there. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. At least
What's
we're
your
all
question?
Is the other? It's the trick is the other pronunciation, which one of the team members from Hasbro wanted to call him. The other two members were calling him Xcellar as well, but he wanted to keep calling him Xcellar.
No, he's wrong.
Yeah.
Which, in all fairness, I've heard that before. I've heard people call him that before.
Xcellar.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Jor-El, like a Superman reference. Xcellar. No, Xcellar.
Well, I'm glad we're all in the Xcellar bandwagon here.
Okay, cool. Okay. That's one of those things, you a lot of modern day people can't really relate to. The internet didn't exist. We just had to do it all on our own, and however your circle said it is what you went with.
Right. Yeah. In high school, when we first started reading, for me, and I think for you, it was Psylocke. And then we had this friend, Brad, that collected, and he called us Psyloki. And I was like, no, never. And as far as we, all the way through, I was friends with him. He called her Psyloki, and I called her Psylocke. So,
and that's a perfect thing. I think we've done it with a few people in general since this show has existed. When we're like, we never even knew what Art Adams looked like before this show, because again, without the internet existing, and not having seen him in person, it was like, that's what Art Adams looks like. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I never looked him up, even when the internet was around. I never. What does that?
That's true too. Yeah, right. Yeah. But anyway, okay, go ahead.
This is from Jason Aaron's run on Avengers. This is Red Widow. She had popped up before in a live stream as like a preview figure. Now she's been placed in this Zabu Build-A-Figure wave. She was from, oh boy, what was the name of the team? It's like a European Avengers team. Yeah, I can't think of it.
This looks like she could be a Star Wars character too.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. This could be the next. Oh man, what's the name of that acolyte? I heard that's all going to be all female. She's going to be an acolyte. Watch, they're going to cross over more. She totally looks like she could be an acolyte character.
Yeah. And to round out the wave of individual figures, we have Wolfsbane from New Mutants X Factor.
I'm actually a fan of her. I like her.
And you get them all. You can build your Zabu.
That's what I want. I want the Xcellar on Zabu. Xcellar better be able to ride this thing like He-Man with whatever Thundercat. Battle Cat, Thundercat. That's awesome.
Yeah. You know what? There's somebody missing from there. We'll circle back around to him when I can get him up there. Okay. But he as you can see here, coincidentally, he is not part of the Build-A-Figure. He does not come with the Build-A-Figure part. Just luckily here I could just ignore him totally, but I remember that he's supposed to be here. So I'll pull him out of my archives in a minute here. But there's where you get the individual pieces of Zabu from.
That's the coolest part of that wave. I'm serious.
Where's his head? I just want his head. Look at those.
That's in Black Winter. Yeah.
Oh, I see it now. Yeah. That's the only one I want, man.
You could make the the trophy thing and just hang it with just on the head. Yeah. The studio audience loves this figure as well.
Yeah, that figure is making me like saber-tooth tigers a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh well, I checked my archives. We're not going to get him today. Maybe I'll show him in another one. But he's the most disappointing figure of the wave. Probably he's Superior Iron Man, the white armor with like the light blue highlights, and it does not translate well to figure form, in my opinion. But if I think of it, I'll pull them up for next show.
Yeah, what a haphazard lot there, though.
Yeah, it is. It's like they couldn't really fit them into another wave, and it's like the leftovers. They swept up the warehouse and put them in the sad booth.
Got an X-Man, a New Mutant, an Eternal, an Avenger, and an X-Men offshoot character. Oh, and Thor. Yeah, that's all over the place. That's crazy.
Right. All right. Speaking of the X-Men, this is cool. I have not spotlighted these figures because they're sort of niche and they're expensive.
I'm sorry. Can I interrupt you real quick, Pat?
Yeah.
So, have you noticed an aftermarket for the Build-A-Figure, just the Build-A-Figures?
Oh yeah, there's people that sell the pieces and the assembled figures on eBay all the time.
Yeah. Are they? They're usually way overpriced, right?
Double, triple, and then depending on the figure of the character, they could really get up there.
Yeah,
depending on how old they are, or the popularity of the character.
Huh. There you go, Mike. As your aftermarket.
These should be, these dollar bin.
Yeah.
Except for the head.
Okay, anyway.
Expensive one.
All right. So, like I said, kind of expensive. This is a Mondo figure. They're always known for posters. They started branching out into action figures. They do records too, Mike. Mondo records.
Yeah, I've got one. Yeah, their stuff is awesome. I own one piece because it's expensive.
Yeah. Usually they team up with a designer, like a high profile designer. They're all about the design work in their product, and for their posters, I guess their albums too, and then their figures. They're sort of hitching their ride to the X-Men animated. It's good timing. These have been coming out for a while, but this week they announced Rogue, and she's really nice. I have to say, she's really nice. And you can see she comes in two versions there. The regular edition, and this is, first of all, this is a 1/6 scale figure. That means that translates generally like a 12-inch action figure, but I think she's a little bit under because she's a little shorter. The regular edition is $210, and the exclusive Mondo version is $235. And you can see with the exclusive version, you get 3 more heads in the Sentinel base.
That is awesome.
But I think it's an extremely well done figure. We'll run through I guess have a couple shots here, but
if you're going to spend $200, go the extra 35 and get the extra heads. It's awesome.
Yeah, yep, I agree. And then for you, Kevin, make sure you
nice.
Look at her hair.
Thanks. Yeah, look at her hair. That is cool.
Yeah, I just want to make sure the jacket's right.
Right.
But before I show the group shot, well, there she is. You can see Gambit. They're also, I think Gambit's up and coming. I don't think he's released yet. I could be wrong. Before I show the shot of all the Mondo X-Men anime, I just want to look at the different heads you get. And I think it's really cool that it's kind of cool, but also very niche. As you can see that X-Men Evolution head with the sort of the bangs look with the hair down.
Yeah.
I can't remember if that really goes well with the rest of her outfit. I thought it was a little different than that. A little dark green.
Yeah.
Maybe a little dark green and stuff, but it's weird, but also cool if they included a head for the Evolution Rogue too.
Yeah.
And then finally the shot of all of the Mondo X-Men animated figures all together there. Wow. Pretty impressive.
That's very impressive. Yep, that's why I don't own anything Mondo except for that one Shaun of the Dead record. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, third. What at 200? That
average
right
probably.
Yeah, average. Yeah. 1,600 plus if you get the bonus job, forget about it.
Right.
Better be awesome. And they are. Yeah.
Yeah, and I can't speak to the quality of their figures. I don't because I don't own one, and I haven't really read up any reviews to see what the craftsmanship of the production values of these figures are. They certainly look awesome, but yeah, I don't really collect anything Mondo. Cool to look at.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, something a little more affordable. We'll go Super 7, and they announced the Wave 5 of the Toho figures. There's your group shot for you. There is the carded shot for you, and then we'll go through the individual. Anguirus, 55. Baragon, 68. Godzilla, 55. He and Anguirus are from Godzilla Raids again. And Mogera, 57.
Interesting.
These are your, $20, $22 price point Super 7 figures.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can definitely see the price point difference between these and
Yeah.
we go to these, which if you didn't lead in with the Mondo figures, be like, oh, these are pretty cool. But you look at them and go, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
But what they're based on, the 50s and stuff.
Hey.
Hey, Stingray. Good morning, Stingray from Cali. Welcome back to the States. Yeah.
Nice.
Hey, oh, sorry, Pat. I'll wait till after you're done showing. I'll wait till after you're done showing everything because I don't want to say it. But go ahead, keep going.
All right. Finally, to wrap things up this week, we have like Kevin teased everyone. We have a toy anniversary this week. This is the 30th anniversary of McFarlane Toys, and to celebrate, Todd divorced his wife and married Spawn.
He's been married.
Private ceremony.
Just kidding. Hilarious. Yeah.
Sorry, Todd. But yeah, 30th anniversary of McFarlane Toys, and to celebrate, they're putting out a wave of anniversary figures.
Yes.
First one being Commando Spawn.
Yes.
This guy's really cool. I don't remember the first version of this. It's the like what was this called? Like the Spawn Adventures or something, Kevin?
Yeah, I can't remember exactly either, but yeah, they were subsequent from the regular series, kind of offshoot series, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
What? I don't understand that reference. Anyway.
Yeah. Then we have Hellspawn. I don't like this figure.
I don't either.
Based on Ashley Wood artwork.
Yeah.
Who he's Ashley Wood has sort of a different design aesthetic to him, so I think some people either like it or they don't.
Yeah, and I think to kind of double down on that a little bit. Mm-hmm. Oh, Stingray was making a Godzilla joke. Okay, went totally over our head, Stingray. Hilarious. Okay, good.
Japan was apparently Godzilla free. Good to know.
Yeah, that's good to know. Anyway, just to comment on this, when I saw this, I thought the same thing you just said, Pat, that I don't like it. But I think it's a cool, rendition of that, comic and that artist's work, so
yeah,
I don't like it, but I still think it's cool to have it to be a part of what he's doing right now, so
right.
I think it looks kind of cool. I like Ashley Wood's artwork a lot. It doesn't translate perfectly to action figure, but this picture, it actually looks kind of cool. The more I look at it, I think the more I kind of like it.
Yeah, I think that's what you need, and I think that's the problem with it. I mean, sorry, I don't mean to hijack you here, Pat. I think you need the artwork to appreciate the figure. The figure just isn't a good figure on its own. I think that's the key to appreciating a figure. It's got to look good on its own, and without the artwork, and appreciating that art, which I do, it's hard to appreciate the figure. That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
I get you. Then we have.
Yeah, what's the price range for these?
The Spawn figures are going to retail $25.
Yeah.
That's doable.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, another picture missing, but we still have a picture of it. So this is Spawn based on Todd's Spawn 311 cover.
Yeah, I love this
cover tribute to Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
So we get this shot with the trading card and base. I just don't have the in-package shot here. That's
yeah,
okay.
I think I might get this one. This is really cool. I like this one a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the fact they put the trading card in there with the cover as well. That's really cool.
And I think they're signed on the back, aren't they? I think he signed them on the back too.
Those are the gold. I'm not sure how that works. I should really look into that. Yeah, you have to get like the gold version, the gold series version, and I don't know if it couldn't be every single one. I don't think he would never.
Well, I just assumed it was a print of his signature anyway.
So that may be. That may be. Yeah. I know he does do sign. That was a thing on Target, like with the Geek Fest. They would have like signed versions. If you were quick, you could pre-order the signed versions, actual hand signed versions. I did see in the video he was showing a signed card, but I don't know if it's authentic or printed.
I was wondering, I haven't read Spawn since issue 1. The thing on his right leg, does he change
issue
that?
1?
Yeah. Does he change that to his left leg so he doesn't overwork his right leg?
No.
Didn't you? You should have watched the video that New York Mike posted. He explained the whole costume thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a couple minutes into that, and when I saw that I had to actually physically just sit there and watch it, I had to put it on the back burner because I didn't have an hour.
Right.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Anyway.
Yeah, finally to wrap it up, we have a 2-pack. This is the prototype Spawn and Todd McFarlane himself.
That's what I'm talking about, Pat. That's what I was like, man, I got it. I hope Pat covers this.
That's awesome.
I love this. Okay, for multiple reasons. Go ahead, Pat.
No, I don't have much to say about it. I just have the 2 shots, so go ahead and geek out.
Okay, so yeah, this obviously it's Todd. So I really want that figure, and this is a great figure with it. This is excuse me, Todd's drawing of Spawn when he was 16. This is Todd's original rendition of Spawn when he was 16 years old. Like him in school, just doodling, not paying attention to his English teacher like me and you used to do, Mike. And this is the original Spawn. He said, and this is the part that I thought was really cool in the video. He said his actual original drawing, he actually colored it blue, but then subsequently when he was kind of getting more serious, Spawn actually coming into fruition, changed them to these colors. But that's what's so doubly cool about this, in my opinion. I love Todd, obviously, and having Todd action figures cool. You know what I'm going to do too, because you can make the Hasbro or what is it? Pop yourself or Hasbro yourself or whatever. Or was it the only you could make yourself into a Power Ranger or whatever? I'm going to get a Kevin action figure somehow, someday. And he's going to be hanging out with this Todd action figure. That's what I thought when I saw that action figure. I love it. I think it's awesome. And especially I'm not a real big fan of how this Spawn look, and obviously neither is Todd, because this isn't the Spawn we know and love. But it's very cool that there would be this action figure of his original rendition of Spawn from when he was 16. Isn't that cool, Mike?
Yeah, I think the whole thing's great.
This is totally why. I mean, this is one of the big reasons I love Todd so much, because he does this kind of thing. This is totally the kind of thing we would do, right, Mike? If you that awesome picture you drew when you were 12, and let's make an action figure of that. Yeah, it's awesome. Which, you know, I'm sure you can appreciate the same thing, Pat. You know, we've seen some drawings from you, and I know you said some of them were tracings or whatever, but when you were real young and drawing and, you know, sending in, you know, letters to Marvel to, you know, be published in comics and stuff, all that kind of old school stuff, you know, imagine being in a place like Todd is, where then you can make this stuff into something you could market that a bunch of people that love you and your things would buy. You know, I think
Right.
the whole thing is awesome. Yeah. Stingray's agreeing. He's geek culture sick. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Totally.
I thought it was pretty cool. The only thing why does it not look exactly like his drawing? You know, it's the eyes are different, the cape is different. The answer there probably is simply that they just are reusing parts and things like that. But I wish it was a little closer to the actual sketch that he has there. Which is, if you haven't watched the video of Todd explaining this figure and the accessories, because I just was cracking up. He's like, you know, he's got a microphone for when he does the conventions. He got my little sketch there, and
yeah,
and, you know, I'm wearing a Spawn shirt that I wear sometimes.
yeah, he is funny. He's funny.
Talk about why you get 4 hands and 2 feet. Why do you get feet? That's weird.
I guess because he never wears shoes.
Yeah, he talked about that, how he walks around the office all the time with no shoes. Yeah,
that makes sense. I wonder if he designed it, or if he told he told his employees or the guys that work for him, say, okay, design a figure based on me. And then, of course, he gets final approval, and that's what they kind of came up with.
Maybe, yeah.
That is funny.
Well, you know, in those hands, you know, he's drawing with 2 of them, and then, you know, he's always doing that, you know, right before, you know, he ends videos and stuff, you know. So it's you know, and Pat, if you look at that card, or is that a comic, or is that supposed to be a simulated drawing or whatever that you're supposed to have him autographing or whatever? That looks identical to the figure. Or maybe not. I don't know. But wouldn't you say it's identical aside from the coloring?
Yeah, I don't know. I have to get a better closer look. But the eyes, there on his drawing, there's no white. It doesn't look like around the eyes. There's a big, you know, like typical modern day Spawn looking eye white around, and then like the pauldrons on the clasps on his his cape don't look quite right. But yeah, I get it. It's a neat idea.
And that's the one thing we've said about Todd a million times. A lot of the things he does is kind of inexplicable, you know.
Tune in next month for the Jokerized Spawn and Todd
Jokerized
figures.
Todd.
No, the Jokerized Todd.
Yep.
I want to see a Jokerized Todd figure. But yeah, man, I love that. Great job having that in there. Thank God. I was so hoping you would. So.
Yep. And that's it. Happy anniversary to McFarlane Toys.
Awesome. So the only other thing I was going to say that it wasn't something that I was thinking about you having on, but as I was starting to say it, I was thinking you might, and you almost did because you had the Godzilla. Did you see they put out the Godzilla V Kong, or what's it, Godzilla X Kong, whatever it's called, that new movie coming out, Jada metal figs? Did you see those?
What?
Yeah.
I haven't bought any of those for a while now. I want them. They're minifigs?
Yeah.
Oh, jerks.
Hey, just don't lose any sleep if you don't get them. That's just a little hint. You know, your birthday's coming. So anyway. Because, man, I can't believe you stopped buying those, because I have not stopped. I just, every time I see them, I bought them. I've got them all. Sorry, Mike, what'd you say?
My reason for they stopped with the individuals. I can buy them at 95 cents or $1 a piece. But when they start going, you know, the 10 packs or the 20 packs, they're talking $20 at one time. So that's where they lost me as a customer, Jada.
Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't even think about that. I was actually going to say something different, that one of the biggest reasons I've continued to collect is because it seems like, and Pat, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like they come out with a new 20-pack like once a month or something. Like maybe even there might even be further apart than that. So it's not like this, so much you got to get if you want to kind of get them all the time, constant 2-3 new, that's what would happen with me. If they came out with 2-3 20-packs a month, I would probably skip because I'd be like, I can't keep up, but the fact that they come out with them just infrequent enough for me. And I think, again, it's a good value because even though you're bothered by them not being sold as singles, Mike, it's still 20 figs for $20 or whatever. So it's not crazy expensive, good value. I've got a planned use for all of them. I like them in general anyway. And the sporadic nature of when they come out, it's easy to keep up. That's why I haven't stopped. Is that accurate, Pat?
Yeah, it seems yes and no. It seems I was trying to keep up with them, but I've kind of fallen off because basically it seems like now they're only doing, as far as Marvel goes, they're only doing Spider-Man. That's all I've seen recently. And they're just all repaints. So the same figures, they just keep repainting them, different color schemes and things like that. But I have seen, Transformers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Minecraft.
Yeah.
They're doing it for different properties, but I feel like they've slowed on DC and Marvel.
I haven't seen DC in a long time. And any Marvel aside from Spider-Man. Yeah, you're right, which again, I don't mind because it's less for me to get,
Yeah.
And I'm not getting any of the Minecraft. I say I'm getting them all, but I'm not getting any of the Minecraft. But I picked up the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, picked up the Transformers, and I think I saw G.I. Joe out there, right? There's a G.I. Joe. Right?
G.I. Joe stuff, yep.
Yeah. So I love them, man. They're great. So check out the Godzilla. Oh, the Godzilla X Kong ones are singles too, Mike. They aren't in a big pack. They're in singles. Yeah. So.
But they're like bigger figures.
Yeah, it's Godzilla. So it's like
that makes sense.
He's big.
They're bigger, but they're still small Godzillas. Right? Is that a way to put it? Right? I mean,
yeah.
But they're not as
look how big it is.
Looks like they come in multi-packs as well. So
I've never seen those. Okay. So anyway, awesome. Great job again. Seems like we're doing good time here. Let's wrap this up. All right, Mike, what you got? Oh, my mother chimed in that I'm funny. It must be true.
You're funny.
Thanks, Mom.
So I want to make sure my audience. I want to make sure I've got this right. So I've got Halo, Last Airbender. Then I have to read Batman, One Dark Knight. It's a pretty good order. But unfortunately, it's going to be a bit because tonight we decided to start watching the Hobbit movies over again. So got 3 of those coming.
That's a good choice, though. That's fine for me. Just try to throw in at least the second half of one of those Halo episodes. Sorry, Pat. What do you got?
I'll say you never can figure out the pick 3 voters see detective cover this week. And it's stubby legs.
And to add on to that, you can never figure out the pick 3 submitters because sometimes you're going to get just open order covers. Sometimes you're going to get some exclusives and variants. You never know. Stay tuned.
Yeah. I'm kind of going to piggyback on a little bit of that. The voters that put Detective Comics at number 1 are mostly the same people that submitted covers for Cover Combat 8
Right.
But don't let that deter you because their cover submissions are amazing.
Yeah, Karen, you got any this week? Okay.
Oh, it's good, Karen.
Fat, you got another one?
I really don't have much. Again, happy anniversary to Todd and Spawn or McFarlane Toys, whichever. Here's the 30 more years.
Yeah. And yeah, I thought that was actually shocking for me when I watched that video too, that it's been 30 years since McFarlane Toys has been around. That's nuts. I would have never guessed that. But anyway, never underestimate the Barbenheimer effect to make Oppenheimer seem like it's better than it is, because I feel like that's what happened and that's how it made so much money. So check out my review on that and watch Oppenheimer. Mike?
I just added Oppenheimer to that list of Halo, Last Airbender, Batman, One Dark Knight.
Yeah. You should. Okay, good.
I got something else to add to your list. Like Resident Alien Season 3 just started recently. So
I saw that.
Hey, here's my question for you, Pat. If I watch Resident Alien Season 3, am I finally going to get to the bottom of your statement you made when I first started watching it about whether he's a good guy or a bad guy?
He's an alien.
So it's complicated? Is that your answer?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Check out Dark Knight, One Dark Knight by Jock. It's excellent, and then tops off with being more excellent than the excellent it was before at the end. Mike?
That's all I got.
No G.I. Joe comment about check out G.I. Joe, because nobody's allowed to say anything about it or something. That would have been good. Yeah. Or sorry about it. Yeah. All right, you got anything else, Pat?
I'm done.
All right, cool. Sorry to the Instagram people too. I just checked. Yeah, that kicked off, which ironically enough, I didn't mention it this week because it went the whole time last week. But maybe I should take a minute to mention that at the beginning so we don't lose all our Instagram viewers after an hour or whatever it is. So that'll do it then. Let's wrap this up. Like that was our wrap up. Let's wrap up the wrap up now. Please like, subscribe, and hit that bell to get notifications of everything we post. Also, comment your thoughts, questions, and suggestions below. We'd really appreciate it. Subscribe to Comics and Collectibles in the Crawl Space on Spotify for podcasters or many other podcast providers. I myself listen to it most of the time on iHeartRadio. I don't know why, but that's where I've kind of fallen. I love that we're there now as well. So, and you can listen to an edited podcast of this live stream on Spotify that will be posted no later than Tuesday. And follow Xcellar Comics on Facebook, Instagram, and or X, aka Twitter, and follow Xcellar_comics on TikTok and whatnot. And then watch our shows on the Whatnot app. You can bookmark. I actually have one on there, but you can bookmark 4 different shows right now to get notified when all the ridiculous deals will be offered. And trust me, they are ridiculous. I've actually got a show scheduled for today. Turns out I'm not going to be able to make that as well. It was scheduled for last night. That's why you got to bookmark them, because I move them around, and I'm sorry that happens. But trust me, when they do happen, they're worthwhile. So I've got a Pokemon, Magic, toy, and comic show scheduled right now. Get those all bookmarked. I'd appreciate it. You won't regret it. Then check out what we have to offer on eBay at Xcellar_comics and in our shop at XcellarComics.com. You can find the shop tab at the top of the homepage of XcellarComics.com. And actually, I wanted to shout this out real quick to your grandpa. Your grandpa, Mike, found the manga Spider-Man. So that'll be on the next comic show. Sorry, it probably won't be today. And then I also wanted to add this, too, that we kind of got away from. I was thinking of re-adding it. The viewers shout out, to Little Panic, a new viewer, buyer on Whatnot. We really appreciate everyone. Anytime we give a random user or random viewer shout out, you let us know you heard it on the show, and we'll give you a discount on our products on eBay. So Your grandpa's like, wait, you guys have shouted me out. Does that count every time? Your grandpa, you're not the random username shout out this week. So anyway, so I'm going to start doing the random username shout out next week again. Then also you can help support the show and everything we do and plan to do through Patreon at patreon.com/XcellarComic. You can watch the premiere of Cover Combat 8, Xcellar Family Edition, this coming Monday, February 26th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a blast. Trust us. Lots of great content, not only covers, but entertaining commentary, if we do say so ourselves. Right, Pat?
We do say.
Yep, we do.
Literally. Then watch our next regular live stream on YouTube or Facebook on Saturday, March 2nd at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then lastly, you can keep up with everything Xcellar has planned with the newly added Karen's Calendar feature that's located at the top of our homepage of XcellarComics.com as well, because there's a lot of stuff. Right, Mike?
Yeah. What's that? I just had another idea.
Oh, geez. Okay. Do it. What?
Well, it's a kind of a behind the scenes thing I haven't done yet. You know how I was sitting here looking at us. I'm like, we're kind of like, we look like ZZ Top. Patrick and I have beards and you don't.
Right.
And then it brought me back to the conversation we had like a month ago. Where, awesome things come in threes. And I thought about the Three Amigos and Three Musketeers. And Three
yeah.
Stooges. And then I thought, no, ZZ Top's a three-piece.
So you're adding that to the great things come in threes conversation from weeks ago. Got it.
Yes. Yeah.
I thought your idea was you were going to tell Kevin he had to grow a beard.
Yeah, I was kind of worried when you first mentioned that too, because the beard, I can't really grow much more than this. That's about all I got.
You guys know the funny thing about that?
What?
The drummer from ZZ Top, what his name is?
I don't. Beard. What is it?
Guess.
Frank Beard. Oh, yeah, guess.
Frank Beard?
Beard. Yeah, he doesn't have one.
The guy in ZZ Top that doesn't have a beard's last name is Beard?
Yes.
That is funny. I didn't know that. Oh, that is hilarious. Right, Karen?
All right, Pat thought, I'm going to finish early, and here we are lollygagging.
Yeah. All right, that'll do it. Well, anything else, Mike? Any news? ZZ Top? Pat?
I'm done. Random.
Karen? Okay, that'll do it then. Thank you, everyone, for stopping by. It's good to see you back in the States, Stingray. Hopefully, we'll see you back in person soon. And until next time, don't forget, appreciating great art is awesome. And reading a great story is fun. So why not pick up a comic book and do both? Xcellar out.